Hey, Super Joshi, and this one is a quick reaction to a video by Murs called The Breakdown for Hip HopDX, and it's all about rappers keeping it too real, basically. So check out that video if you haven't, and let's get into it. So the video is basically about rappers engaging in actual criminal activity and not just talking about it on their records. And he sort of talks about whether people really care if the rappers are as gangster as they say they are, or whether that's just a gimmick. Mentions Rick Ross and many other things as well. Now his video is nearly 12 minutes long, so me doing one sentence summary is merely skimming the surface. But I'm going to try and answer his questions as best I can, because he did ask quite a few questions during the video. Now obviously you can tell from my accent that I'm not from America, but I still think there is a relevance, especially if you live in a big city like London, to the kind of situations that go on, and also the way that music, in particular black music, is said to be a contributing factor to that behaviour and that criminality. I'm really glad that Murs brought this up, basically, because as a fan of the music, I sometimes wonder how much these people are doing what they say they're doing, or whether it's just like a front. And also, like, I wonder, if you've got so much time to be doing crime, when do you get into record and make beats and write rhymes? When you're doing whatever it is, school, college, work, that takes up a lot of time, and fitting in music and fitting in whatever else is hard. So again, to be a gangster, that's pretty full on, right? That takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort. You've got to organise a lot of things. So if you're doing all that, how much time are you really spending on writing? Probably not a lot. And then there are obviously those who write about what they see, and that's different. That's kind of a different kind of art, I would say, because some rappers go on about, I'm so gangster, I sold drugs, I did whatever, I shot people, whatever. And there are those that describe the situation of seeing so-and-so who's pregnant at 16 with an abusive boyfriend or father, whatever. Those kind of situations, if someone's describing it, cool, that's just, they're describing what they see around them. But at the same time, there's got to be kind of a little bit of hope as well. My point and my biggest answer to Murs on this is, at some point, can you really be a gangster and a rapper? You have to decide, right? You have to say, I'm all in on this. I'm just going to focus on my lyricism or whatever. Murs talks about Rick Ross, and I think he's a really good point in this, because Rick Ross is known to be a former correctional officer, parole officer, but he's kind of unleashed this persona, this character of him being a drug kingpin, just a massive drug lord who's just doing his thing, living this kind of Tony Montana life. And people are bought into it. And no one really cares that he's not really doing that, he's not about that. In fact, maybe the audience is slightly mature enough to say, do they really want to be supporting someone who is actually like that, bringing misery to people's lives or whatever? I mean, if you're really a massive, drug lord or kingpin, would you really want to be flaunting it? Because you're probably trying to stay on the down low a little bit, right? A little bit low key. And one thing Murs says is that, especially with the case of Rick Ross, is the gangsterism all about the lyrics, basically? And is it all that really matters? Banging beats, catchy lyrics, and just a big tune. Now, as a fan of music, and as a kind of a purist from the music point of view, then ultimately that's all that should matter. I mean, just because you're writing songs of any kind, what matters is it's got to be a good song, right? I mean, I think that's why a lot of kind of songs with messages don't get through to people. Like if someone's saying, if there's a song to do with a certain charity or something, I mean, they're always cheesy as hell. And you're like, yeah, it's cool, maybe I'll just give some money to that organisation, but don't force me to listen to this track, because it's rubbish, man. I mean, fair enough, 10 artists have got together and they'll feel good about themselves and got kind of charity bonus or whatever, but the tune's shit. I suppose it's the same for rap, right? The track needs to be good, it needs to be it needs to be on point, the lyrics need to be on point, the beat and everything, the production. And so if that's all there, and yeah, you've got a bit of this kind of fantasized, romanticized kind of underworld, which is just a little bit naughty but it's accessible, then cool, right? And one of the important things he says is, if no one really cares about whether the gangsterism is authentic, and all they care about is the music, is that really a bad thing? Now, for me, I would say, no, it's a good thing. Because if the whole point of music, and particularly rap music, the way it started, was to give people a voice when they didn't have one. But also then, following on from that, it became a ticket out of a fairly uncomfortable lifestyle or living arrangement. Now, if it's someone's passport out to a better life, then why would you want them, as a fellow human being, to be engaging in self-destructive behaviour? I mean, can you really be, if you're really a fan of an artist, what you want them to do is make great tracks without pressing the self-destruct button? And if all they're doing is harming themselves in the public eye by not watching their behaviour, that prohibits them from making good tunes, and it's messing their life up as well if they're having to go in and out, or they're having to watch their back for getting in feuds or whatever. As a fan of an artist or of the music, I mean, I don't think you can really justify wishing someone to fuck their life up, just so that when you listen to their track, 3.5 minutes or whatever, you think, damn, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's really done those things. People have gone to jail for saying things on records that they've done, that they've really done. I mean, you know, there are loads of cases, I don't need to go into them. It's right that a rapper talks about in the environment what they've seen around them, because that's their story. That's exactly what what we want to hear, and that's exactly what they should do. I mean, like, no one wants to hear complete fakeness. Yes, they need to talk about the environment they've seen, and if they've seen a lot of crime and a lot of, I don't know, prostitution or whatever, talk about it. But at the same time, like, music is another form of diet, and really, if there are people listening to your music, at some point, or at what point do you say to them, actually, there is hope, there is a better day, and as much as we've seen this, there are other ways to be conducting yourself, and there are other ways that situations can be handled. If it's about uplifting the community, that's probably the right way to go about things, right? He also asked, are rap fans really now okay with a world where if there's any beef, it just stays on wax, so to speak? And he talks about a former Canadian sitcom star turned rapper who's able to take shots at a real life Philadelphian rapper who has served time, and for it to be okay just to be on tunes and not spill out into anything serious. I mean, surely that's a good thing, right? At the end, he came up with two really important questions for me. One is, if you're not from the trap, in his words, why do you support the music? What are you interested in? And if you are, why do you keep supporting music which celebrates a lifestyle that is not so great? Now, I guess my answer to that would be, it really is about the music. I mean, when I hear something fresh, hear something different, that's what really drew us to trap. Especially when trap became this kind of EDM hybrid. But essentially, rap music generally, it's for me, it was about the skill level was amazing. I just thought it's amazing what they can do with words, how many words they can fit into a song. The beat, everything is banging. It's just good. I heard it as good music. So that's the first thing, right? That's why you're into it. And the second thing is, why do you support it? Well, I guess I don't really. I guess people kind of treat it as entertainment. And they also probably don't want to acknowledge the fact that those are people's real lives. If someone's talking about sipping lean all day, they're like, yeah, surely they're not. And whereas that person probably is. And he also asked, do rappers play out the authenticity of their gangster behaviour to try and seem authentic and try and sell more records, or stream more or whatever? And yeah, I think that's true. They do have a certain amount of bravado anyway, because it's about, it's about presenting your big self, not necessarily your best self. And rappers do that, no doubt. At the same time, it depends what kind of artist you are. I think De La Soul have done very well without ever needing to do that. So if you're more like a conscious rapper or kind of a different kind of rapper, then you don't really need to do that. I think Outkast have done pretty well. I know they're a bit more pop, but still. So at some point it's got to be boring, right? I mean, after the 5th album of you saying how much you sell drugs and how much crack you sold that week? I mean, really? Are you growing as an artist? No. Are the listeners growing? No. I mean, I know that the tracks that I listened to 5 years ago are not necessarily the same as what I listen to now. There's only so many times you can listen to that kind of track and think from the same artist year in, year out, thinking, are you for real? And if you're not, that's cool. But at least show that you've grown up a little bit in your lyrics. Don't keep selling me the same shit. Because what I'm saying is, on a personal level, I find that that lacks a little bit of creativity, or it's a bit formulaic. And yeah, going back to the point about why we from outside of that kind of area support the music, like with kind of the Goodfellas and whatever those kind of films, there's a slight romanticisation of it. And that's why you get people in the suburbs of London acting like they live in Compton. And there's a certain voyeurism to it as well, as we know. I hope I've made sense. I guess ultimately it's about having good music, try not to hurt other people, try not to get into any situations, any drama, and any gangsterism. I would hope that these rappers engage in can be like, from the past, I used to do this, but now I don't do that. But that's what I saw, and that's okay. But now I'm a different person. Like 50 Cent, for example. You know, he talks openly about the things he saw, his mother selling drugs and all the rest of it, and how he's bettered himself, had a chance to better his situation. And with someone like that, you've got to respect that. But if you're 35, 40, you're on your 4th album, and you've been saying how much crack you've been selling since the age of 19, then really, you're probably a bit of a waste man, who's either lying to yourself or lying to your fans. Either way, you're lying. Unless you really are selling crack, which is, I suppose, fair enough, but then the police might be into you, or onto you. It's a complex debate, and I just tried to give some thoughts of how I feel. If you like what I had to say, then like this, don't forget to comment.